Exposed, the amazing journey of a black woman mechanic who transformed doubt into 100K triumph. Maya's hands were stained with grease, the scent of motor oil clinging to her like a second skin. Outside her auto shop in Atlanta, the vibrant hum of the city blended with the revving engines and laughter of a community that thrived on grit. Yet inside, the laughter she heard wasn't the joyful noise of her friends, it was the mockery of a couple of customers questioning her qualifications, their voices creeping into her mind like vines overtaking a garden. "Can you believe she thinks she can fix that?" One laughed. "What's next, a woman mechanic?" A knot tightened in her stomach. These moments fueled by prejudice, doubts, and the weight of societal expectations shattered her confidence. Her dreams felt like they were crumbling, much like the old engines she often worked to repair. Growing up, Maya had watched her mother, Karen, juggle multiple jobs to put food on the table in their modest apartment. Every night, her mother shared tales of her relentless struggle, her voice a mix of hope and desperation, igniting a fire within Maya. Those stories fused into a certainty: hard work and determination could shape her future. But now, surrounded by laughter thick with skepticism, she felt her dreams teetering on the edge. At home that night, the warmth of the kitchen contrasted sharply with the chill of her self-doubt. Karen sat across the table, her brow furrowed with concern. "Maya," she began, "I just want you to be safe. This isn't a career for a woman. You could do so much more." Maya's chest tightened. It was a familiar conversation, one that echoed through their lives, where dreams clashed against the hard brick wall of realism. "I'm fixing cars. I'm good at it, Mom," Maya replied, her voice more defiant than she felt. They fell into a silence thick with misunderstanding, each woman struggling to see the other's point of view. As the days passed, one betrayal shook Maya to her core. A trusted employee, someone she considered family, cleaned out the register and disappeared into the night. Everything imploded around her. The crushing weight of disappointment settled on her shoulders, pressing down harder with each passing moment. Just when she thought all hope was lost, a wave of support washed over her from the community she served. Customers hesitated at first, but now they rallied around her, offering help and sharing her name with others. Friends showed up with aprons and tools, ready to lend a hand. Together, they lifted each other, families, friends, customers, reminding her how interwoven their lives were. Their enthusiasm sparked a flicker of light deep within Maya, rekindling her determination. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. In the crescendo of her fight against betrayal and building her dream back up, Maya stood at the crossroads of her ambitions, with a potential 100K deal hanging in the balance. Fear and anticipation mingled as she prepared to confront the employee who had wronged her. Would she reclaim not just her hope, but the connection with her mother who had always wanted the best? The stakes had never been higher, and uncertainty loomed like storm clouds on the horizon. Would Maya rise above the doubts, or would she fall into the dark pit of despair? Maya stood in her shop the next morning, the sunlight streaming through the windows, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. Her workspace, the floor littered with old tires and car parts, felt like a battleground, each piece a reminder of the struggle she'd faced. The air was thick with tension, her heart racing as she awaited the arrival of her former employee, Jamie. The clock ticked loudly on the wall, each second stretching painfully long. Doubts crept in as she replayed the betrayal in her head. Jamie had been her right hand, the one she trusted the most. The one who knew her dreams and fears. How could someone she cared about do something so reckless? With each passing moment, the questions buzzed in her mind. What did Jamie want? Was there any chance for resolution? The door swung open, and in walked Jamie, looking apprehensive but steely-eyed. Time seemed to stop as they exchanged glances full of forgotten friendship and lingering hurt. "Maya, I didn't know how to come back," Jamie said slowly, a mix of regret and defiance in her tone. Maya took a breath, grounding herself. "What do you want, Jamie? What could you possibly say that would fix this?" Her voice was steady, but inside, her heart was pounding, battling between anger and a longing for understanding. "I came to explain. I messed up. I let my greed get the best of me," Jamie stammered, her fingers twitching nervously. "But I want to make it right. I want to help you. I need this back too, for my own reasons." Maya watched her, searching for sincerity in her friend's eyes. Was this an act of remorse or simply a tactical retreat? "You say that now, but why should I believe you? You let me down when I needed you most," Maya replied, feeling that familiar knot tighten in her stomach. "I'm sorry. I know I hurt you, and I'll never be able to change that. But I believe you can make this work. Look at the support you've received." Jamie's voice broke slightly. "I didn't just rob you of money, I stole your dreams too." Maya's heartbeat quickened as she remembered the kindness pouring in from her community. Her customers, like family, were sharpening her resolve. Maybe Jamie was speaking the truth, or maybe it was just a desperate plea. For a moment, they stood in silence, surrounded by the remnants of broken trust and the potential for something new. Maya felt the weight of choices pressing down on her. "You want to help? Prove it. Break down your walls the same way I'm trying to break through mine," she finally said, her voice steady. "Okay," Jamie nodded. "I'm ready to do whatever it takes." They looked at each other carefully, the air charged with a strange mix of hope and uncertainty. Just as they were about to delve deeper into their conversation, the frantic ringing of her phone interrupted the moment. It was a business partner calling about the potential $100K deal. Maya's heart raced again. This was colossal. But it also brought on new pressure. I need to take this," she said, stepping back slightly. The moment with Jamie hung heavily in the air, unspoken words floating between them. As she answered, the stakes amplified once again. "Maya, we're ready to discuss your proposal," the voice on the other end boomed with authority. She licked her lips, glancing back at Jamie, who stood with a hint of desperation in her eyes. They both had so much to prove now, but would she seize this moment or leave it to chance? "Let us make this work," Maya said, steeling herself and shifting her focus back to the call, aware that her dreams were not just waiting for her, they were right at her fingertips. Would she grasp the chance for a new beginning, or would the weight of the past hold her down? The tension built as she poised herself to embark on a journey of reconciliation, trust, and determination. Maya steadied her breath, the sound of her own heartbeat pounding in her ears as she listened to the voice on the other end of the line. "We're here to discuss the proposal you sent over. We think there's a lot of potential." She nodded, even though they couldn't see her. "Thank you for the opportunity. I believe this partnership can truly benefit both of our businesses." As she spoke, she felt Jamie's eyes on her, filled with both hope and anxiety. "Before we proceed," the voice continued, "we need to discuss the funding and how you plan to allocate the resources." Maya glanced back at Jamie, who was now shifting uncomfortably, pacing slightly. The tension in the room flared as Maya focused back on the call. "Yes, absolutely. I'm planning to use the funds to expand my shop, invest in better tools, and ideally, bring on more staff to help keep up with our growing customer base." "Undoubtedly ambitious," the voice said, admiration shining through the phone. "But remember, this is a significant amount. We need to see a detailed plan. Can you have that ready by the end of the week?" "Absolutely," Maya replied, her pulse racing. The responsibility loomed like a shadow, daring her to falter. Once she hung up, a rush of adrenaline coursed through her. She could feel the excitement bubbling, but it quickly shifted back to reality as she turned to Jamie. Okay, I have a week to prepare. What now? Jamie shifted uneasily, her gaze darting to the cluttered floor. I know I have a lot to answer for, and I want to help you with this. Let us map it out, every detail that can show them how serious we are. Maya studied her once more, still weighing the sincerity of this partnership. Part of her wanted to pull back, to guard her plans, but another part craved the collaboration. They had been through so much together, lost in an ocean of mistakes and miscommunication. Fine, Maya said, the decision firming up inside her. Let us do it. But I need you to be all in without hesitation. No second guessing. Understood. I'm ready, Jamie affirmed, her voice firmer now. They gathered around Maya's desk, and for the next few hours, ideas flowed like water. Maya found herself bursting with excitement about the future, but just as quickly as hope soared, doubt crept back in. The past wasn't so easily forgotten. Tell me again why I shouldn't just be mad at you. Maya pressed, trying to rein in the emotions that bubbled beneath the surface. I messed up, Jamie replied, honesty etched on her face. But I'm here now, willing to work hard. I want you to see what we can build together. I want to show I'm worthy of your trust. Maya held her gaze, an unspoken challenge swirling in the air. What if you disappoint me again? It won't happen. I'll prove that. Just then, the phone rang again, slicing through their moment. Maya's heart dropped a little. Would this be another opportunity, or would it bring more complications? Can I stop checking my phone now? Maya smiled awkwardly to ease the tension, but the anxious flutter in her stomach didn't go away. She picked up the call. It was another local business owner, curious about her work after hearing the buzz in town. I've heard great things about you, Maya. Can we meet to discuss ideas for collaboration? The weight of it all hung in the air. Should she take on another commitment when she was barely managing the one in front of her? Maya felt the room spin slightly, her heart racing as she considered her options. She glanced at Jamie, who looked just as uncertain but buoyed by the chance to support Maya. The seed of hope tingled in her chest, but doubt still whispered in her ear, refusing to quiet down. Let us meet, Maya said, finally making up her mind. Each moment felt monumental. I'm ready to embrace this challenge. But as she set plans for the meeting, a deep-rooted fear unsettled her. Would this newfound alliance with Jamie truly turn their dreams into reality, or would it spiral out of control once more? As they both took a moment to catch their breath, a sudden thought struck Maya. Was she ready to relive the risk of being disappointed again, or was this the turning point that would change everything? The stakes were higher than ever, and her heart echoed the doubts that remained. How could she step into this new chapter with confidence when shadows still lingered behind? What would unfold next in this deeply intertwined journey of trust and ambition? Maya felt a surge of determination as she set her phone down, but the anxious flutter in her chest refused to fade. Each second felt like an eternity as she weighed her options, scared of the unpredictability that came with new opportunities. She leaned against her desk, mentally preparing for the upcoming meeting with the other local business owner. Ready to go deeper? Jamie asked, her tone light, but Maya could see the unspoken worry behind her smile. Let us make a plan, Maya said, her voice steadying. If we're going to impress them, we need to have all our bases covered. They spread sheets of paper and colorful markers all over the clutter on the desk. Each scribbled idea felt like the beginning of something big. They tossed around strategies, revenue forecasts, and community outreach ideas. Maya felt the excitement rise, drowning out some of the doubts gnawing at her mind. But with every stroke of the marker, a piece of her past echoed back, those moments of betrayal, the uncertainty she shared with Jamie. Okay, what about marketing? We need to stand out, Jamie suggested, her expression shifting from uncertainty to excitement. What about a launch event? We could reach out to the community and build excitement. Maya's heart pounded. An event would require extensive effort, and somehow it felt like a risk, just like working with Jamie again. But Jamie's enthusiasm was contagious. Sure, she replied cautiously. Let us brainstorm how that would work. As they fleshed out plans for the event, Maya caught herself smiling. She hadn't felt this alive in a long time. Each idea that flowed between them lifted her spirits, building a bridge to a possible future where they could trust each other again. But lurking at the back of her mind was the specter of adventure and the fear of failure. Let us not get ahead of ourselves, Maya interjected. We need to prove we can be organized and reliable first. We have to be ready for the proposal meeting. They spent most of the night digging through every detail, working side by side. As fatigue crept in, so did the questions about Jamie's commitment. Would she truly still have Maya's back when the pressure mounted? Hey, Jamie said. I know I've let you down before, but I'm determined to show you I'm serious about this. Just remember, Maya replied, meeting her gaze, it's more than just words. It's actions that count now. As the tension shifted slightly, Maya couldn't shake off her worry. It felt like a balancing act, teetering between hope and fear. Everything was riding on their ability to come together and the success of the upcoming meetings. Days went by in a hazy rush of presentations and preparations. Each moment felt charged, and every word uttered in meetings captured Maya's deepest worries. Yet, a sliver of hope maintained its foothold in her heart. When the day of the big meeting arrived, Maya felt her nerves tightening like a vice. She dressed impeccably, aiming to package her confidence in a neat bow. Jamie showed up at her door, a smile plastered across her face, but even that couldn't lift the shadows clouding Maya's mind. You ready for this? Jamie asked, her voice steady. Ready as I can be, Maya replied, taking a deep breath. As they walked into the meeting room, the anxiety buzzed around them like static electricity. There was tension in the air, and Maya felt every heartbeat. Her hands shook slightly as she shuffled the papers in front of her. When the presentation started, all eyes were on her. Maya's voice quivered at first, but as she spoke about her vision, something shifted. Passion ignited within her, and before she knew it, they were hanging on her every word. But then a question hit hard. What if your partnership doesn't yield the results you expect? The voice cut through her excitement like a knife, and doubt snaked back into her mind. Maya hesitated, scanning the faces in the room. Where was Jamie's reassuring gaze? In that split second, she felt exposed, her hopes laid bare for scrutiny. Because I believe in this team, she eventually replied, but the doubt lingered. Would that be enough? As they wrapped the meeting, hope mingled with fear. A decision hung in the balance, their future waiting for the outcome. Maya caught Jamie's eye, both of them silently wondering if this was the moment they'd been waiting for, or if it was all just another cycle of dashed dreams. What would happen next if their hard work didn't pay off? Would their fragile trust withstand yet another storm? As darkness settled around the city, Maya and Jamie sat at a small cafe just a few blocks from the meeting venue. The moment they'd left the boardroom, the bubble of tension they'd created for themselves started to feel like a reality. The verdict was still out. So how do you think it went? Jamie asked, stirring her coffee absent-mindedly, her eyes darting around the room. Maya tightened her grip on her mug, feeling its warmth seep into her palms. I think we did a good job presenting, but that question really threw me off. Her voice was low, barely above a whisper. Yeah, but you recovered well. You held it together, Jamie reassured. I could see you finding your rhythm. Maya allowed herself a small smile at Jamie's belief in her. But even that small victory was shadowed by her underlying fear. What if they don't take us seriously? What if they decide we're too inexperienced? Jamie met her gaze, a glint of defiance in her eyes. You've got to remember, they wanted to see us for a reason. They need fresh ideas. We have something they don't, Maya, a unique perspective. The belief in Jamie's voice was powerful, but the nagging doubts in Maya's mind were familiar companions. She had been down this road before, forcing herself to push those thoughts aside. "I hope you're right," she said softly, the vulnerability in her voice more evident than she intended. As they sat in silence, sipping their drinks, Maya's heart raced at the thought of whatever was to come. The bustling cafe felt alive, overwhelmed by the excitement and chatter that surrounded them, while her own world spun slowly on axis. "Let's think positive," Jamie suggested, a bit more cheerfully. "Why don't we plan how to celebrate when we hear back? Maybe after our first big client?" A small chuckle escaped Maya's lips, and she perked up slightly at the thought. "All right. What if we go all out? We could get a fancy dinner or maybe treat ourselves to a spa day." "Now we're talking," Jamie said, a grin breaking across her face. The energy in the cafe pulsed in sync with their newfound enthusiasm. Just then, Maya's phone buzzed, jerking her back to reality. Her heart raced as she reached for it, half expecting the worst. The screen lit up displaying a message from one of the board members. Maya stared at it, her breath hitching in her throat. "It's them," she said, her voice trembling. Jamie leaned in, eyes wide with anticipation. "Open it," she urged. Maya swallowed hard, fingers trembling as she tapped the screen. The message was short, but the words hit like a thunderclap. "We've discussed your proposal and would like to move forward." Relief washed over her as she let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. But then, a lump formed in her throat. "Wait, they want to move forward? Together?" Jamie exploded in excitement, the kind that made heads turn around them. "Oh my God! This is incredible!" Maya's heart fluttered wildly. And just like that, the doubt that had shadowed her began to dissipate. Could this really be happening? But the joy was quickly punctured by a sobering thought. "Wait, we have to deliver now, Jamie. There's no backing down." "I know, but we can do this. We've already shown we can come together," Jamie replied, squeezing Maya's hand. Maya looked around, her face lighting with hope. Perhaps this was the beginning they needed. Perhaps this time would be different. Yet, deep inside, there remained the unshakable fear of the unknown, and whether this partnership would hold through the challenges ahead. As the cafe's vibrant energy enveloped her, the echoes of their earlier silence faded, replaced by a new melody of possibility. With another message waiting for her attention, she couldn't help but wonder, what other surprises lay ahead? For now, it felt as if they had turned a corner, but could they sustain it when everything got harder? Would this spark of success carry them through the storms to come? The news settled around Maya like a warm blanket, wrapping her in a halo of possibility. She couldn't help the smile that tugged at her lips, even as a fresh wave of anxiety gripped her stomach. "They really want us to go forward," she whispered, almost to herself. "Think about it, Maya. This is it." Jamie's voice bubbled with energy, her eyes dancing with excitement. "We put our hearts into that pitch. Now we get to show them what we're made of." Maya nodded, still absorbing the weight of Jamie's words. It felt surreal. Just hours ago, they were two young women sitting on the precipice of failure, and now they were teetering towards an opportunity. "Let's order dessert to celebrate," Jamie suggested, her tone contagious and infectious. The idea pulled Maya completely from her thoughts. "Are you sure we should? I mean, what if we have to start working right away? Then we celebrate harder. Come on, let's live a little." Jamie nudged her playfully, and the waitress soon appeared to take their order. As they waited, Maya's thoughts drifted. What did moving forward mean? She pictured endless meetings, brainstorming sessions, the laughter and frustration of collaborating. Then she imagined the nights spent awake, worrying if they could pull this off. Earth to Maya. Jamie's voice broke through her fog, and Maya blinked, pulled back into the cafe's lively atmosphere. "Oh. Sorry, just daydreaming about what comes next." "Which is fantastic. We're finally getting our chance." So quit worrying about what might go wrong and start dreaming about everything that could go right. Their desserts arrived, rich and decadent. Maya took a moment, savoring the sweet taste. It reminded her of childhood, a delicacy after a long day. There was something beautiful in that, celebrating the small victories, like this moment they were sharing. With laughter and playful jabs at each other, the uneasiness began to slip away. They took selfies, capturing smiles that glowed brighter than the restaurant lights. Yet, as laughter filled the air, an inkling of doubt crept back into Maya's mind. What if they failed? What if the expectations were too high? What if they couldn't deliver? "Hey," Jamie said softly, noticing the slight change in Maya's demeanor. "What is going on in that head of yours?" "Just thinking about, all the things we have to do now." Jamie leaned closer, resting her chin on her hand. "It's okay to feel nervous. But you have to promise me something whenever you start doubting yourself. Just look at me, and remember what we're capable of." Maya glanced into Jamie's eyes and felt a surge of warmth. It was their friendship, their bond, that had gotten them to this point. "Okay," she sighed, grateful for Jamie's unwavering belief. As they stepped out of the cafe, the chilly evening air braced them. It was crisp and refreshing, a contrast to the warm, vibrant atmosphere they had just left. "Let us go home and get to work," Jamie suggested. "We need to start mapping out our ideas. I'm talking spreadsheets, brainstorming sessions, the whole 9 yards." Maya couldn't help but laugh. "Spreadsheets? Really? You're such a nerd." But that playful jab melted into something more serious. "What if we don't make it?" Maya whispered, the night closing in around her. "Then we won't make it together," Jamie replied, her voice steadfast. "But I believe in us, and I know we can do this." Maya felt a swell of gratitude. They stood on the cusp of a journey more significant than either of them anticipated, filled with both uncertainty and promise. As they walked side by side, Maya looked ahead, her heart a mix of hope and fear. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were stepping into the unknown. With every step they took, the shadows of doubt began to linger behind, but hope shined a path forward. What awaited them on this journey? And could their unpredictable path lead to the triumph they dared to dream of? Maya and Jamie arrived home, the front door creaking slightly as they stepped into the familiar comfort of their shared apartment. The walls were adorned with pictures of their journey, little milestones captured in frames and smiley faces. Tonight, each frame seemed to whisper encouragement, as if reminding them of where they had come from. "Okay." Jamie clapped her hands, making Maya jump slightly. "Let us dive in. We need our battle plan." Maya chuckled, the nervous energy shifting to something more tangible. "You sound like we're going to war." "Well, in a way, we are. We're fighting for our dreams," Jamie replied, excitement lighting up her features. They gathered around the small dining table, littered with notebooks, colorful pens, and an old laptop that had seen better days. Maya opened her notebook, flipping to a blank page. This was at the moment to transform ideas into reality. "So, what's our first step?" Jamie asked, leaning closer, her enthusiasm palpable. Maya stared at the empty page, heart racing. "I think, we should list our goals. What do we want to achieve first?" Jamie nodded vigorously. "Yes. Let us write them down. Big dreams, little dreams, everything." With Jamie's encouragement, words began flowing. Each goal felt like a declaration, a promise not only to themselves but also to the universe. Maya wrote, "Create a prototype, find investors, host a launch party." As they brainstormed, the air grew thick with creativity. Jamie sketched out ideas, drawing funky diagrams that brought a smile to Maya's face. The more they talked, the easier it became to envision every step. Hours passed, filled with laughter and creative chaos. But soon the excitement started to melt into exhaustion. Jamie pushed her notebook away and sighed, rolling her shoulders. Okay, what's bothering you now? Maya hesitated, fiddling with her pen. Am I going to let everyone down if it doesn't go as planned? What if they expect too much? Jamie leaned back and studied her. Maya, listen. They picked us for a reason. We have something they believe in. I believe in you. So why can't you believe in yourself? Maya looked up, her eyes shining with a mix of hope and fear. Jamie always knew how to reach her, digging deeper until the real issue surfaced. I guess I'm scared. Scared of what? Jamie inquired, her voice steady. Of failing. Of people looking at us like we don't belong. Jamie took a deep breath. But what if we succeed? What if we change the game? That's what keeps me going. Maya thought about this. She felt the weight of doubt loosening, the flicker of possibility lighting up her insides. You're right, but it feels so big. Yeah, it is. And it's supposed to feel that way, Jamie said, her tone firm. Just take it one step at a time. Maya smiled, a flicker of determination sparking in her heart. Okay, one step at a time together. They continued brainstorming late into the night, the moon hanging outside their window, shimmering like the bright future they were daring to claim. With every idea jotted down, Maya felt a shift inside her, a promise to herself that she would navigate this journey, no matter where it led. As they finally settled down, Maya whispered, "Do you really think we can do this?" Absolutely, Jamie replied, her tone wrapped in unwavering conviction. But tomorrow is when it really starts, are you ready? With a nod, Maya realized the depth of her choice. Tomorrow would set the foundation, and there was no turning back. What awaited them at the break of dawn? Would their leap of faith lead them to the triumph they yearned for, or would they face unexpected challenges along the way? Maya woke up to the soft glow of dawn creeping through the curtains. It felt like the sun itself was nudging her awake, encouraging her to rise and embrace the day. She sat up, a surge of determination pulsing through her veins. Today was more than just another day, it felt pivotal, like the turning of a page in a book she had long dreamed of writing. In the kitchen, the aroma of brewing coffee enveloped her like a warm hug. Jamie was already up, bouncing on her toes, her excitement layered with a hint of tension. I made breakfast. She called out, flipping pancakes on the griddle. Wow, you're on it today. Maya replied, smiling. Her stomach growled in response, and she hurried over, eager to dive into the delicious stack. As they sat at the table, sharing laughter and syrupy pancakes, the reality of their plan settled in. After we eat, we can revisit our goals and really start mapping out what we need for today, Jamie said, her eyes sparkling like stars. Maya nodded, savoring each bite while her mind raced ahead. I can't stop thinking about the prototype and all those materials we need to get started. Jamie pointed her fork at Maya. And we'll find a way. Remember, one step at a time. Plus, you have that meeting with Mr. Caldwell tomorrow, right? Maya groaned at the mention of the investors they sought. Yeah, and I have to really impress him. They're all counting on us. The weight of expectation hung over her, heavy but strangely motivating. You've got this. You're going to blow him away, Jamie assured, her confidence infectious as she leaned in closer. And just think about what happens if we get this funding. It'll be our chance to show everyone what we're made of. Maya couldn't help but smile. That was the heart of it all, this dream of creating something meaningful, the thrill of possibility. Before they could second-guess themselves, they jumped into their plans after breakfast. Hours flew by as they made calls, gathered ideas, and compiled a list of materials. Maya lost herself in a whirlwind of excitement, sketching out designs for the prototype and discussing details with Jamie. But then, amidst the buzz of activity, doubt crept back in, nagging at her subconscious. What if they see the prototype and don't like it? What if it's not good enough? The words slipped out before she could catch them. Jamie paused, her expression shifting to concern. Maya, remember what we talked about last night? It's not just about them liking it. It's about having a vision, something to share. Don't you feel it in your heart? Maya drew a deep breath. I do, it just feels so far away. Jamie took her hand. Yeah, it probably feels that way because we're standing at the edge of something huge. Don't shy away from it. Own it. Those words ignited a fire in Maya. Taking Jamie's hand in hers, Maya squeezed tightly. All right, let us finish this prototype. I want to see it come to life. The rest of the day was a blur of progress. They spent the afternoon assembling parts, grabbing supplies, and laughing over silly mistakes. They even practiced their pitch aloud, with Maya's enthusiasm electrifying the small room. As evening fell, Maya stood back to admire their handiwork. The prototype, while still rough around the edges, embodied every ounce of their hope and hard work. It's beautiful, she whispered, pride swelling in her chest, but just as she turned to share her feelings with Jamie, a sudden thought surfaced: what if this did not go as planned? What if they truly were setting themselves up for disappointment? Hey, Jamie, she began, hesitating. What if we fail? Jamie looked at her with understanding, as if she had anticipated the fear lurking in her heart. We won't fail, she said, voice steady. You have to trust the journey. Sometimes all we can do is take the leap and hope for a net. Maya nodded slowly, absorbing Jamie's words. She felt her heartbeat quicken, anticipation building inside her. Tomorrow would be the true test. As they prepared for bed, Maya's mind swirled with thoughts. The challenges ahead were daunting, but the thrill of their dream pulsed brightly. Jamie, she started, her voice barely above a whisper. Yeah? Jamie responded, eyes glimmering with curiosity. What if this is the moment that changes everything? With that question hanging in the air, Maya felt the dawn of a new chapter ready to unfold. What lay ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: they were on the precipice of something big. Would they soar, or would they fall? Tomorrow might just hold the answer. Maya woke up, her heart racing. The sun streamed through the window, washing over her like a wave of energy. Today was the day. She could almost feel the electric buzz in her fingertips as she stepped out of bed. In the kitchen, the smell of coffee lingered in the air, but it paled in comparison to the anticipation building inside her. Jamie was pacing, her phone glued to her ear. Yeah, I'll send the designs over as soon as possible. Absolutely. Yes, I promise. She said. Maya couldn't help but smile at Jamie's enthusiasm. Big calls, huh? She teased, pouring herself a mug of coffee. Jamie rolled her eyes playfully. You have no idea. Today could change everything for us. Maya sipped her coffee, grounding herself. As Jamie continued her calls, Maya's mind drifted toward their prototype. It represented so much more than just wires and materials. It was their dream, their vision alive in a physical form. Okay, we need to stay sharp today, Jamie said, hanging up the phone. Presenting to Mr. Caldwell is a huge opportunity. We've got to be ready for anything. Right, Maya replied, her voice steady though a nervous flutter tickled her stomach. What if I trip over my words? Or what if? Maya, Jamie interrupted, placing her hand on Maya's shoulder. You are brilliant. Trust in what we've built, and more importantly, trust in you. Taking a deep breath, Maya found solace in Jamie's unwavering support. After a quick breakfast, they gathered their things, making sure everything was in order. The car ride to the meeting felt like a scene from a movie. The streets blurred by, and Maya's thoughts raced ahead. When they arrived, an imposing building loomed over them. The glass windows reflected their nervousness, giving an unexpected glimpse of their doubts. As they walked through the lobby, Maya felt a mix of fear and excitement coursing through her. Let us focus, Jamie said, reaching for Maya's hand, an anchor among the chaos. They took the elevator up, the numbers ticking higher with each heartbeat. "Breathe," Jamie urged softly as the doors opened. They stepped into the conference room, where a long table stretched before them. Mr. Caldwell, sharp in his suit, sat waiting, flanked by two other investors. Each face was a mix of interest and skepticism. "Ladies, welcome," Mr. Caldwell said, his tone neutral, as if balancing on a tightrope between curiosity and judgment. Maya swallowed hard, feeling the weight of expectation pressing down on her. "Thank you for having us," Maya began, her voice slightly shaky but growing steadier with each word. She felt Jamie's reassuring smile on her, and that little bit of encouragement ignited the fire within. As they ran through their pitch, showcasing their prototype, Maya animatedly spoke of their vision, intertwining technical details with personal stories that reflected their journey. She was in a rhythm, her passion painting vivid images in the minds of her listeners. She caught glimpses of interest on their faces, yet, as the presentation reached its climax, her eyes caught Mr. Caldwell's lingering gaze, one that seemed to dissect her every word with scrutiny. Doubt flickered back in. What if she wasn't enough? Then, out of nowhere, Mr. Caldwell leaned forward, his brow furrowing. "I appreciate your enthusiasm," he said, pausing for what felt like an eternity. "But tell me, what will you do if this fails? If the market doesn't respond?" Maya's heart raced. That question hung heavy in the air. She glanced at Jamie and saw her nodding slightly, urging her to dig deeper. "Failure is a possibility, sure," Maya replied, standing taller as she spoke. "But it's not the end. Every misstep will teach us something valuable. This is about resilience. We'll adapt and learn because we believe in our vision." The silence that followed seemed to stretch endlessly until Mr. Caldwell finally smiled. "That's the spirit I want to see. I admire your tenacity." As the meeting ended, Maya felt the adrenaline rush lift her off the ground. They exchanged pleasantries and left the room, but the uncertainties nagged at her. "Do you think he liked it?" Maya asked, her excitement mixed with anxiety. "I think we've opened a door," Jamie replied, her eyes wide with hope. As they headed out, Maya noticed the sun setting outside, casting a warm golden light. Just then, her phone buzzed with a message. Thumbing it open, her heart sank. An email notification from one of their suppliers. "Oh," Jamie murmured, peering over her shoulder. "What's that?" Maya's heart dropped as she read the message. "The materials won't arrive on time." In that moment, doubt crashed like a tidal wave. Had everything they worked for come down to this? "Wait," Jamie said, grabbing Maya's arm. "This isn't over. Let us find a way to turn this around." Maya opened her mouth but found no words. Could they really overcome this setback, or was this the beginning of their struggle? The answer loomed before them like the setting sun, beautiful, but uncertain. Maya felt as if the ground was falling away beneath her, but Jamie squeezed her arm, snapping her back into focus. "Maya, we can fix this," she insisted, determination etched on her face. "This is just one hurdle. We've faced worse together, right?" Maya took a deep breath. "You're right. I can't let this ruin everything." They hurried out of the building, excited chatter fading behind them like a distant memory. The cool evening air washed over them, refreshing yet daunting. "We need to come up with a plan," Maya said, her heart racing but hope flickering back. "Let us reach out to other suppliers. We have to find an alternative, fast." Jamie nodded vigorously. "Exactly. Let us make calls tonight. We've got this." They jumped into the car, the tension shifting into an action-oriented mindset. The city lights whizzed past, a blur of color and life that mirrored their frantic energy. With every phone call they made, Maya felt the heaviness lift just a little bit. Hours passed, and amidst the whirlwind of conversations, they finally got a lead. A local supplier had just what they needed and could deliver by morning. Relief flooded through Maya like a cool breeze on a hot day. "We did it!" she exclaimed, her voice brimming with excitement. "That's it. Now we can meet our timeline." Jamie replied, her smile radiant. Just as they were about to celebrate with a high five, Maya paused, her smile fading. "What if Mr. Caldwell doesn't think we can handle this? What if he sees this as a sign of unreliability? Then we show him that this is just a minor bump in the road. Every entrepreneur has faced challenges. We've already impressed him." Jamie's confidence wrapped around Maya like a safety net, soothing her worries, pulling them back into focus. They stayed up late, refining their pitch for tomorrow. It was a frenzy of planning, spreadsheets sprawled across their living room floor, colored markers, and the sound of laughter punctuated with moments of intense silence as they concentrated. "Okay," Maya said, resting her chin on her hands, fatigue creeping in. "This is our last chance to make this perfect." Jamie stretched her arms above her head. "And we will. Just remember, they believe in us. We believe in each other. That's what matters." Maya felt the spark reignite. "You're right. Whatever happens, we've built something awesome together." As dawn broke, they lit up the kitchen with determination. The coffee brewed strong, its rich aroma mingling with the promise of a new day. Maya dressed with care, smoothing her outfit and glancing at her reflection, hoping to see the same confidence Jamie saw. At the conference room, the atmosphere was electric. They both felt the weight of the moment pressing hard against their chests. But today felt different. Today, they walked in knowing nothing could stand in their way. "Good morning, ladies. Glad to see you back so soon," Mr. Caldwell greeted, leaning back in his chair with a hint of curiosity dancing in his eyes. "Thank you for having us," Maya replied, meeting his gaze with renewed fire. Together, they unfolded their plan. The prototype twinkled under the bright lights, each element representing not just tech specs but their journey, the triumphs, the struggles, and the dreams they nurtured together. Jamie spoke confidently beside her. As Maya finished her pitch, she added, "We believe that we've already weathered storms and learned to adapt. This setback? It only shows our resilience and our commitment to this vision." Mr. Caldwell nodded thoughtfully. "Impressive." After moments that felt like hours, he leaned back in his chair. "I believe you have the potential to build something groundbreaking." Joy soared within Maya's chest like fireworks igniting the night sky. A few weeks later, the news spread like wildfire through their community. They received the funding. The news was met with fist pumps and tears of joy, celebrating an accomplishment that felt like a long time coming. Maya stood in her shop, surrounded by bustling friends, customers, and supportive faces. Each one reflected her journey, a journey fueled by grit, resilience, and a community that knitted together as tightly as family. She felt changed, rebuilt by the trials she had faced. It was no longer just about fixing cars, it was about empowerment, breaking stereotypes, and daring to dream boldly. Maya caught Jamie's eye across the room, and they exchanged smiles filled with pride and unspoken gratitude. "We did it," Maya mouthed, and Jamie nodded, her eyes sparkling with promise. As the laughter swirled around her, Maya's heart swelled with happiness. She knew this journey was just the beginning. Boundless opportunities lay ahead, and now, not only did she have the skills to navigate them, but also the unbreakable bond of friendship and community rooting her on. This was their triumph, transforming doubt into unbelievable success. So, if you loved this story and want more inspiring tales like Maya's journey, you need to subscribe now. It's time to support the channel and not miss any exclusive content. Leave a like now to tell the algorithm you want to see more uplifting stories. Comment below with your thoughts and feelings about Maya's transformation. How did it inspire you? And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this triumphant journey. Let us spread the power of resilience.